Hello, my name is Isaiah Tanner, and this is my persuasive speech on why the Audrain County rural road system needs to be improved. As you can see, I'm outside because it is a very nice evening, and I thought this would be appropriate. But right now, I'm here to convince you why change needs to happen to the rural road system here in Audrain County and what you can do to help. So, historic flooding over the past few years has caused extensive damage to the gravel roads that both rural residents, like myself, and farmers use to travel the county and get into town for a plethora of things. But first, I want to put it into context with a scenario. So let's start with weather. Say over the past few days, it's been raining very heavily, an opposite of the weather, as you can see. But it's been raining very heavily. The ground is saturated, so it isn't absorbing much water. However, during a break in the weather, you decide to make an attempt to go into town because you need groceries. So you hop into your car and you drive down your gravel road, lined with trees, very beautiful scenery if it wasn't raining. But you notice that the road is very bumpy because over the past few days, the rain has washed the gravel off of the road, potholes have been unfilled, and the road is relatively uneven and lodged with heavy puddles of rain that you see are leaking into fields, crop fields that you pass. You've seen an especially large puddle in a field that are owned by people that you know personally, and you know that the damage to the crops is going to be very harmful to them. Um, but you come to a portion of the road that's completely underwater, and you know that there's a bridge ahead, but you can't see it because it's completely underwater, and the road is flooded, making it impassable. So, with no choice, you turn around and try to find another way into town. But unfortunately, all the other roads are in the same or worse condition, making them unpassable. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, this is a reality and has been a reality several times over the past few years. So, you know, rainstorms have, flooded the roads, caused damage to crop fields, which lower farmers' harvests and make it hard for them and residents to get into town. I myself have experienced this several times, and I'm sure, the viewer, if you know people who live in rural areas, they may have experienced this as well. But something must be done. Um, so, what's the situation? What can be done? What needs to be done? Um, but first, the basics. So, isolated residents and farmers are prevented from going into town because Mexico, Missouri, the seat of Audrain County, sees about um, 43 to 44 inches of rain a year. That's 5 inches above the national average of 3.8. And over the past few years, Audrain County has seen an increase in their average of 2 inches. Now, this may not seem like a big deal, but when there are a lot of crop fields and things that are very sensitive to the water intake, this can be a very big deal. And in emergencies, it makes it very hard for people to get into town. Um, and Audrain County's already poor road conditions in and out of bad weather does not make it any easier. But there's a very different and a very important group of people that are at risk here, and that is farmers. So, as you can probably guess, flooding causes damage to crop fields, which damaged crops makes them unable to grow, unable to plant, unable to germinate, and so this decreases their harvest, and the horrible road conditions also make it hard for them to make their deliveries into town, so that they can be distributed to the town, to the county, and to the state, and sometimes even the nation. Um, they cannot make their deliveries on time, or sometimes even at all, which means that they're missing out on payments. Um, so, for an example, if a grain truck isn't able to make it from the silo to the farm to the depot, um, oftentimes that farmer misses out on a payment, and a whole community misses out on a source of food. So why isn't Audrain County doing anything about their roads? Why aren't they, allocating money or whatever? Well, about that, the Missouri Department of Transportation limits the maintenance to just paved roads. So don't they don't maintain gravel roads. They stick to public paved roads, like the highways that lead to the gravel roads. So Audrain County then must pick up the slack, and they must find ways to repair the roads themselves. Um, Unfortunately, like most counties, Audrain County isn't the wealthiest, so they have to allocate their money very strategically, which means that not a lot of money is left over to maintain the gravel roads to the level that they need to be repaired to for them to be traveled safely and efficiently. So Audrain County has a very limited budget, which also throws a wrench in the plans of making these roads much better than they are now. But not all hope is lost. Change can be made, and here's what you can do. So you can start by contacting the Missouri Department of Transportation and urging them to extend their maintenance from not just paved roads, but to ideally all gravel roads in Audrain County, but at the very least, very important gravel roads that known farmers are known to use for common routes into and out of town. Um, you can also um, you can also contact Audrain County Road and Bridge Company to uphold the roads to a higher standard, be that through allocating more money to the fund used to maintain these roads, and ask them to do just more than repaving or re-graveling the roads, because over time gravel is driven off the road and they must put new gravel down. Um, so you can also ask them to protect high flood risk areas near crop fields to mitigate the damage done to them during flooding near crop fields. So that is just one of the many things you can do, but the main thing you can do is, you can also contact the courthouse in Mexico to put in order new legislation to protect and upgrade the gravel roads. The result of this, it would be immense. Residents could make safer, faster trips into and out of town in inclement weather or out of it. Farmers can resume their harvests, more bountiful harvests, faster harvests, easier harvests that aren't as hard on their farm equipment. They can also make deliveries faster, easier, again, safer because the gravel roads are up to a standard that they are able to use efficiently. The local economy here in Audrain County and Mexico is also stimulated because, again, the exchange of farmers and goods and things is happening on a regular basis, again, because they are able to transport, their crop, their harvest. And food security for Audrain County and Mexico included, of course, is held in place because, again, food is getting to all sorts of places in a relatively even and fast pace. But that is just one of the many benefits there are to um, making sure these roads are up to standard. So I hope this has convinced you that something must be done about the roads in Audrain County. Your concern is important because people here, even my family included, is relying on these roads to be up to standard. And you can use your voice to support an important cause that people all over the country are affected for. So